What would you do if I cheated on you?
Lila doesn't like this question.
I can just imagine Oakley saying, can I have a chicken nugget? And I'll quickly get one and hide it and give it to him. Just don't tell Mum I have a chicken nugget. I went to Disneyland. My mum said it was the biggest mistake she ever done. It was a holiday from hell. When people keep saying dad or like, oh, you've got 2 mums, it makes it feel like, oh, maybe that isn't the norm. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of resentment at first.
The other day you were anxious and you were like scratching your head and everything like your dad.
No.
I was like, I've literally married Leah's dad.
She looks like she's drunk.
Drunk.
She's like,
drunk on milk. Hey guys, and welcome to our brand new podcast, The 3am Club, with me, Caitlin.
and me, Leah.
We'll be talking everything about our relationship and parenting and everything that comes along with that.
Pooey nappies.
Couple fights,
Screaming toddlers.
and sleepless nights. So you're going to hear all about our parenting adventures, the good, the bad, and the mad, as we become parents of 2.
And we'll also bring some amazing guests along for the ride.
We want to hear all about your parenting tips and hacks, funny stories, couple fails, and questions on our segment, The Midnight Mail. So welcome to the 3am Club. Hey guys, and welcome to the 3am Club with me, Caitlin.
And me, Leah.
And Lila.
Lila has travelled into London with us today, her first journey.
Yeah.
But credit where credit's due, she was asleep the entire time.
Yeah, she did really, really well. We were shocked because she's normally wanting to feed every 30 minutes to an hour, isn't she? So to go 3 hours on the journey was amazing.
It was amazing. So when we were in the car, we were thinking, what can we actually talk about on this podcast? And we came up with this really fun game. What would you do if?
We have some scenarios and we're going to ask each other, what would you do if?
Let's go quite strong.
Okay.
So we're vegetarian and our kids are vegetarian now.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you do if Oakley and Lila came to us and said, I don't want to be veggie anymore? See, I feel like we're going to have different opinions.
I mean, it's hard because how old would they be?
Okay, I'm going to say 12.
12. I feel like at 12 years old, they know their own mind. And I wouldn't force them to do that.
That has shocked me.
Really?
I feel like you would never force, never ever force, but you would encourage and explain why.
Well, I feel like it's different if a 3-year-old comes up to us and says, I want a chicken nugget. They don't understand, they don't really understand the ethics and everything. Whereas a 12-year-old, they do understand and they can make their own decisions. So if our 12-year-old child came up, I would definitely say,
I agree.
It's up to you.
See, you say that and I do agree with you, but I feel like even if Oakley and Lila were 4 or 3, I would still say, okay, fine, you don't need to be vegetarian.
I mean, I feel I would never want to pressure them, but I do feel like at that age, they don't understand.
Which you are right.
But you also wouldn't want to tell them why we're vegetarian, which you've said before in the past, which I think is kind of silly because it's they're vegetarian but wouldn't have a clue why. They're just following us what we're doing, but you won't tell them why they're vegetarian.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't want to brainwash them. I want them to make their own decisions. I just want to say it in a very subtle way. We have animals in the house. We don't eat animals. And
yeah, but then do you class our parents that fed us meat as brainwashing us? They never would have had the conversation this is why we eat meat.
I guess not, because not being vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian, it is more normal to eat meat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I don't think they were brainwashing. I just think it's more of the norm. So it just wasn't a conversation. We went vegetarian for the kids because we were vegan for 2-3 years.
We were vegan for 7 years.
2-3 years, 7.
We were vegan for literally 7 years. And
nearly our whole relationship, we were vegan.
We went vegan a year into our relationship. It was so funny. You're maybe 2-3 years.
I have no idea of time. I'm just 2-3 years.
That's so funny.
That's so funny. Right, should we do the next one?
Okay, sure.
Okay. Oh, this one's quite sad, really.
Aww.
What would you do if the kids end up resenting us for being a 2-mum family?
I would find that so hard. For them to resent us, I don't know, I feel like I'd done a bad job as a parent, that they don't feel loved and accomplished and like complete with what they've got.
I don't want to be naive. I feel like there will be a point in their lives where they will ask us questions. We can't help what other people say, but when they keep hearing the word dad and we're like, no, donor, I feel like they're going to question it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of resentment at first.
Really?
Yeah,
See,
I wouldn't.
I feel like they'll be so used to it, and I hope that we give them like a really good life, give them so much love that they're not going to be in like a mindset where they would resent that. I feel like they'll be happy with the family that they have, because
I really hope
I feel like love is the most important thing. Like you could have like a mum and a dad, and like they could be really awful parents.
Yeah, I agree with you. We can make them feel the most love they ever can feel, but they're not always going to be in their home 24/7. They're going to go out into the big world, and we can't help what other people ask them, question.
But I feel like questions aren't bad. Like questions are good for like educating people.
They're not
and
bad,
stuff.
but when people keep saying dad or like, oh, you've got 2 mums, like it makes it feel like, oh, maybe that isn't the norm. So then they're going to question it and they're going to think, well, why are they asking this all the time? Because at a point it will get annoying that they keep getting asked these questions.
It's true. But I do hope that the generation that our kids will be brought up in will be more open-minded. And even when we had the healthcare visitor over recently for Lila, she said that she deals with lots of same-sex couples.
It's
so
true.
I do feel like it's becoming more of like a normal thing, and that hopefully their generation, it will be more normal and it won't be so taboo. Because I feel like the people that do ask us questions, like, or mention about a dad or like saying rather than donor and stuff, they are kind of older generations.
Yeah. When I say resentment, I don't mean they're gonna be so angry with us, they're not gonna talk to us, they're gonna hate us. I mean like a short period of their life where they just question things and wonder like what happened and why, and do you know what I mean?
Hopefully we'll bring them up that they'll be able to deal with that and like have the right answers and be confident in their family and who they are, that they don't mind answering those questions.
I love that. Yeah, definitely. We're going to start that young.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Hear that, Lila? Right, next one. What would you do if I cheated on you? So not cheated on you back like 5 years ago when we had no kids, we weren't married, we weren't living together. What would you do now?
I would still end it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like just like that?
Yeah. If you cheated on me, that is basically you ending it.
Yeah.
If you're going to cheat on me, like what, you clearly don't love me. What's the point in being together?
Cheated on you by just a kiss on the lips. Very quick kiss on the lips.
But why would you do that? What made you like? How could you be in
this person had really soft lips, and I
that's really, not a good thing.
No, but what would you do? Like, it was such a silly reason. Like, I didn't fancy this person. I just was like,
well, then I would be like, why would you risk our whole family and relationship to just kiss this person because they have soft lips?
But would you end it for like
yes.
a thing? Like, really?
I would find it very, very hard to end it, because obviously I love you and like our whole lives would be different. Like we would, you know, it would be very, very hard. But I would just think that you couldn't have loved me to cheat on me. Or like you should have at least told me that you didn't want to be with me beforehand to cheat on me. So yeah, what about you? Lila doesn't like this question.
No, she doesn't like this question at all. I feel like I can sit here and say, yeah, I'd end it. I would end it like that same day. But I just know I probably would hate you, but not end it straight away. I'll try and let you grovel, and I feel like I would resent you forever, but I wouldn't end it because we have our family.
I feel like
if you slept with someone, yes, I would end it. I wouldn't be able to. But if you just kiss someone, I'm not giving you a free pass here, but if you just kiss someone, I don't know, I would be heartbroken, but I can't say I would end it forever.
I do know what you mean, because like a kiss is something that can be more, you know, accidental and in the moment. Whereas like if you sleep with someone, that takes a long time. Like it's not like a 2-second thing that can just happen. But I do think that if like you cheated on me, I would never be able to forgive you and get over it. That it would be pointless staying in a relationship, because it would just be a miserable relationship.
Yeah, and then it would be unfound the kids, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Don't cheat, and I won't cheat, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever have time to cheat, would we?
We would have no time to cheat. No. Plus, we're together all the time. It'd be impossible.
Yeah. So that's actually the end of all of these questions. we're sort of similar on a lot of them.
Yeah, I do feel like we are. Maybe not the vegetarian one completely, but mostly we are very similar.
I just can see in the future this is so bad, but
You think Oakley will?
I can just imagine Oakley saying, "Can I have a chocolate?" No, chocolate, we're not vegan anymore. Can I have a chicken nugget? And I'll quickly get one and hide it and give it to him. That would be so
I
bad,
think that's
wouldn't
bad,
it?
though. I feel like you shouldn't hide it from me.
No,
would be
that's
bad.
so bad.
No.
But I just can imagine me doing that.
Really? Oh my gosh, I'll have to watch out.
Like, just don't tell Mum, have a chicken nugget.
That is really bad.
That is bad. I shouldn't have said that. So you're very strong-minded, like your mum. Like, I've never known someone so strong-minded, whereas growing up, my parents weren't really.
No.
Like, a lot of times my dad would say, "Don't tell Mum, but you can have this." And my mum would say, "Don't tell Dad, but you can have
Really?
this." So I grew up like that, whereas I feel like your mum was very regimented with...
Yeah, it's true. She was very, very strong-minded. Like if she was set on something, then that's it. Like there's no change in her mind. And I do feel like I am like that, but not... I was going to say you could change my mind, but probably you couldn't change my mind.
You cannot change Caitlin's mind for anything.
No.
Do you know what I love about your childhood? I love how close you all were with your cousins. Like,
Yeah, that's
you went to
true.
Ireland all the time growing up with all of your cousins and you had so much fun.
I was really close with cousins my age, and then like our parents would all, like our mums were all related, so they would hang out.
Obviously.
Well, no,
Oh,
it could have been the dads. Yeah, like all the mums were related, and we would all hang out and play together and like grow up together, and that was really good because you weren't really close with any cousins or anything, were you?
No, we have such a small family. Like, there's barely anyone. It's just like my mum, my dad,
Yeah.
my nan. Like, it's so small. Whereas when I met you, you were like, right, this is my 6th aunt that I've just introduced you to. But I love that. I love that you went to Ireland and you were just like playing in the field.
In the summer holidays, we'd always go to Ireland, and it would be kind of like very freeing and very like, because we were just in the countryside and there would be hardly anyone around, hardly any cars, no lampposts on the street, no Wi-Fi, nothing. We would just play. And I do feel like that is really important for kids. And like nowadays, everyone has iPads, and we can't say that we're not stopping the kids
To
from
be
having
fair,
iPads.
Oakley has an iPad.
He doesn't use it.
No, but we did get him one.
We did
just
get
for the TV.
Yeah, for the TV in the car and stuff. But yeah, I do feel like I would love to take our kids on holidays where they can just be kids, run around, have fun, and enjoy each other. And they already have cousins their age, don't they? So
They have so many cousins their age.
So that would be amazing. They can all play together, like me.
So
as a little
apart
kid.
from going to Ireland, did you go on any other holidays growing up?
We did go on some holidays, like a few holidays.
Was it just you, your mum, your dad, or was it like loads of cousins?
I went on some holidays with cousins, but it was mainly like me, my mum. We went on some holidays to like Spain and went on holiday to Mexico. I would love to travel with the kids. I feel like I didn't travel that much with my family, but I would love to really travel with our kids. That would be so nice.
The thing with us though, we're going to travel when they're older, but I don't want to get in that rut where we keep saying every single year that passes, we'll do it when they're older.
That's true.
I feel like we need to set the age and then actually travel.
Well, what age do you think is a good age? I feel like
4 and 5.
Really, I was going to say 2 and 3.
Too young.
Do you think?
Unless we're going with other family members.
No,
I just
with
feel like,
other family members.
Then tomorrow.
No, I think...
I would feel better with other family members on the first holiday with them being young. I wouldn't mind going tomorrow.
Or at least Connor, just so we have an extra pair of hands.
Yeah.
We'll just drag Connor along to all of our holidays.
Yeah. But I think we'd go somewhere very local, like not that far.
Yeah.
Like Spain or
But
France.
our dream is to definitely travel with the kids, isn't it?
That's why we had both kids like at the same sort of like a really short age gap. So then we can travel and we can do these things.
And they'll be interested in the same things at the same time.
Yeah.
That is our main reason that we wanted to, and that they'll be like best friends and everything.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you go on holidays with your family? Like, what did you do?
I remember my earliest holiday, I went to Disneyland, Florida.
Wow.
And my mum said it was the biggest mistake she ever done. It was a holiday from hell. You know why? You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
You were scared of the characters.
I was scared of the characters. I think I was like 2.
I do think 2 is too young.
And my mum said to my dad, look, it's ridiculous. She's so young. And my dad was like, no, it's going to be amazing. and I cried and screamed the entire time.
So it was just a complete nightmare.
It was a complete nightmare. And I feel like, from what my parents have told me, I was quite a stressful baby. I was crying all the time. I was never happy.
Yeah, your mum said that she could not leave you alone at all. Like, you just wanted to be with her all the time. But I was like that too. My mum literally had to come to preschool with me.
But I feel like that's why they never had any more kids after me. And that's probably the same. I feel like I just put my mum off kids and my dad.
You always ask her that and she's like, no, we just were happy with 2. But yeah, maybe they were like, no, this is enough.
So do you think, because obviously your mum was very strict and my mum's not strict, do you think that's made us different in how we parent at all?
You are very much like your mum with parenting. Like, you are very...
Really? In what way?
In some ways, like, you get very stressed very easily. Like, for example, when we were travelling here today, I said to Leah, would you be able to take Oakley's car seat out of the car? Because at the moment, it's so hard to sit in the middle, and I was going to sit in the back with Lila. And I said, would you mind taking Oakley's out so it's more comfortable?
I've done it.
No, but you were really stressed about it. You were like, I won't be able to do it. It'll be too hard. And I was like, if you just Google it and just look at the instructions, and your mum was saying, she won't be able to do it. There's no way she'll be able to do it. And you were both so stressed over this simple
really
task.
Exaggerating so much. I literally said I would do it. I don't need to look at the video. I'll just be able to do it. I didn't say I couldn't. I just said I'd not look at the video.
But you came back in and looked at the video.
So I tried without looking at the video and I couldn't. And I came back in, looked at the video, and then I done it.
But
I don't think I was very stressed.
Well, you were very stressed this morning because your mum kept saying to me, Leah's really stressed. Leah's really stressed. Yeah.
I think it's just, come on, there's two, like, we've had how many hours sleep?
I don't even know.
4 hours sleep, 2 kids, going into London. Like, it is so hard to leave the house.
It is, but that's what I mean. You are quite similar to your mum in that way. But do you think I'm similar to my mum?
Yes, 100%. But obviously, I remember you saying you were shocked at how my parents parent me, and I was shocked about how your mum parented you, because I was never around a strict parent ever. And I remember it took me by surprise. And I remember with you were like, gosh, your parents are so like laid back.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I can do so much and I wouldn't get in trouble.
I think your mum literally said she never told you off.
Like, yesterday, I was really embarrassing my mum. I was like really winding her up, and she was just like, Leah, stop it. Just stop it.
She was telling me to tell you off. She was like, Caitlin, please tell her off.
Yeah, she was.
I was like, I'm trying, but she's not listening.
I'm not her mum.
Yeah.
You're her mum. You can tell her off.
Yeah. Whereas my mum would like tell you off and tell me off.
Yeah, your mum used
and
to
you were
tell
shocked.
Your mum used to tell me off for annoying my mum.
Yeah.
She'd be like, Leah, stop it. I remember with my dad, you said you've never met anyone like my dad in your life.
Your dad is completely the opposite of my dad and any man I've ever met.
My dad is very, very in touch with his feelings, like very in touch.
Which is good to an extent. Like, it is really good, I think, for a man to be in touch with his feelings.
But I would say my mum takes typically, like very typically, the dad role, whereas my dad takes the mum role.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I really do agree.
Like, my mum would be calming my dad down, and I do think I take a lot after my dad.
You do with the emotions, for sure. You get very, very emotional. Your mum is more emotional now. You said when you were growing up, it was more your dad that was really emotional.
Yeah.
And you get so emotional so easily, don't you? Like with the kids, and like your dad will call you all these nicknames and stuff, and you do that with the kids. Yeah.
Like, when I say things, I'm like, oh my God, I sound like my dad.
Even your mannerisms. Like the other day you were anxious and you were like scratching your head and everything like your dad. I was like, I've literally married Leah's dad.
Whereas you, I've never met anyone like your dad. Your dad is like the biggest geezer going. Like, he's nothing like you. He's like, I remember when I first met him, I didn't know it was your dad at the time. I parked up outside your house. I was with Connor in the car, and your dad, I just thought this was a random man, goes up to me and says, your car tyre's slashed.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I was like, oh, I'm only joking. And then walked off. And then I saw him again later in your house.
My dad is the biggest jokester ever. And I do get that from him. Although my mum was very like pranky as well. But yeah, my dad, everything is a joke. He is not in touch with his emotional side at all.
Which drives you absolutely mad.
It does, because he's very, like, he can't be serious. He can't have a serious conversation. And he's quite, like, not like kind of cold, like, but not cold. I don't know how to describe it, but he's just not emotionally, you know, there with it, which is obviously very different to your dad. And
I remember when our dads met.
Oh, our dads were complete opposites, weren't
I remember
they?
my dad thinking, this man. I remember saying, what do you think of Caitlin's dad? He was like, yeah, he's okay.
I think my dad really thought he got on with your dad.
I know, but my dad's like, I'm not sure about this man.
Because my dad will talk to anyone. Like, you literally could be absolutely anyone and he would just talk to you about a load of rubbish. Whereas he was doing that with your dad, and I think your dad was like,
I've never met anyone like this. Your dad can talk for Britain, though, can't he?
Definitely. And I definitely did not get that from him.
No.
I do feel like I am more like my mum than my dad. And I feel like you're a mix of both of them.
Really? You're definitely prankster like your dad, but more serious, level-headed, kind, like your mum.
Yeah. Apparently, I was a very shy kid and I was also very attached to my mum. Like, my mum would take me into a supermarket and I would just scream. I hated being around anyone else. I think I was a very stressful kid when I was little, like a toddler and a baby. And then even as I got older, I was still very shy. Like I said, my mum had to literally come to preschool with me because I was such an anxious child. What were you like?
So growing up, I was stressful. And then when I got older, I feel like I didn't have a care in the world.
Really?
Like, I wasn't anxious about anything and I was just living life. But then, so that was about primary school. And then secondary school, I was a little bit rebellious. I was like, I was just talking a lot. I wasn't the best at school. I would get in trouble for going on my phone, talking and all of that.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I calmed down when I met you.
Yeah.
So I feel like I went through like being shy and then rebellious, and then you like literally put me right back down to being just myself.
Oh, I definitely never had a rebellious phase.
I can't imagine you ever being rebellious.
No, I was a rule follower. I was a rule follower most of the time.
See, I was never naughty. I would just like, if they say stop talking, I'd say, okay, and then carry on talking.
I would get told off for talking and being on my phone for sure. But yeah, I was the type of kid in class where the teacher would say at parents' evening that like, I don't talk, I don't put my hand up and get involved. Like, do I even exist?
Did you used to hate it when a teacher would pick on you for not putting your hand up?
Yes, but do you know what? I literally think I was a ghost at school sometimes because
I know what you're going to say.
So when I did my A-levels, I would literally not do my homework because my teacher would give me feedback. She would come around the class and give everyone feedback, and she would give me feedback on homework I hadn't done.
That is crazy.
So I think she literally just thought I didn't exist and would just like...
Did you? What did you say? Just thank you?
Yeah, just be like, okay. She'd be like, yeah, it was really good. Well done. And I didn't even do it.
That is so good though. That is like the dream.
I know.
That is so funny. No, you will definitely hear me in class before you saw me.
Really?
I was very loud.
You're not like that now at all. So.
No, I'm not. Now I'm like an anxious mess all the time.
Yeah.
At school, I just felt safe, I guess. Like, you do feel safe in school, don't you?
I didn't. I hated it. I absolutely hated school. If I could have been homeschooled, I would have been.
Didn't you spend like, when I met you, this is so sad, you used to spend the whole of lunch times in the toilet.
I did. I was just too scared to talk to anybody.
That's so sad. But don't you think that's crazy? Because now obviously our job is on social media.
I know. I'm like, we have to talk to people all the time.
How? You wouldn't have believed it if you said like to yourself when you were 17, this is what you'd be doing now.
No, it's so true. I wouldn't. Right, now it's time for our segment on the podcast, Midnight Mail, where we read questions from you guys.
Remember, you can get in touch by sending us a DM on Instagram at the 3am Club Podcast. Okay, first question. I'm always looking for fun day trips and activities for us and the kids. What are your favourite things to do as a family?
So the other day we went to the farm.
Yeah, Marsh Farm in, is it Chelmsford?
Yeah, in Chelmsford. I feel like that is such a fun day out because there's like a park there, there's animals there, they have different events. Like we went to a Christmas event there, Easter event there. Like I feel like that's one of my favourite things to do. And especially if it's good weather, you could literally be there all day.
I feel like we're also very lucky. We live near a beach.
Yeah.
So when the weather's nice, we just go to the beach. You don't have to do anything fancy, just being outdoors and having fun. I feel like the kids really love. And also soft plays. I know a lot of mums or guardians are like, oh my God, soft play full of germs. But the one we go to is actually really lovely, isn't it? And
Yeah,
it's never
so
too
quiet.
busy.
Yeah, they are probably our favourite things to do. But even just playing in the garden, like Oakley loves playing in the garden. We have a little like tree house for him and he's finally able to start going down the slide and stuff. We still
Yeah.
hold his hand, but yeah, they're probably our favourite things to do.
But I feel like we're still on the lookout to see like more activities. So if anyone has any more suggestions.
Especially if it's a rainy day.
Yes, it's so
What
hard
can
to
you
know what to do.
You literally can't. I feel like there's no way you can go other than a soft play with kids if it's a rainy day.
We normally just say, oh, let's go out for lunch or dinner and that can
Yeah.
be our day out.
It's true.
Which isn't really the most exciting thing for the kids.
When you're a little bit older, there's more things to do. But if you have a toddler or a baby, it's so hard because you can't even go on a walk.
I feel like when we check the weather for like the next day, if it's raining, my heart literally sinks. I'm like, oh no. Like there's so many more limitations.
It's true. You just have to entertain them in the house.
Yeah. So next question. How do you deal with public toddler tantrums? My toddler saw a toy he wanted whilst out shopping. And when I said no, my son had a complete meltdown in the shopping centre.
So I don't think we've actually had a proper toddler temper tantrum, which I'm shocked by because he's definitely in his tantrum era, but he hasn't had one out. But I feel like if your toddler does have a tantrum out, just realise that like most people have had kids or like were a child themselves. I'm sure everyone has experienced having a toddler have a tantrum out, and try not to worry too much about what other people think. Because I feel like as a parent...
Sorry, I'm laughing because you said...
What did I say? What did I say?
You said most people have had kids or they've been kids themselves.
Well, I mean,
obviously they've been kids themselves. They just get born and become an adult.
Maybe you do. Maybe some people do. But I mean... What I meant by that was, like, if you haven't had kids, you were a kid, and I'm sure you had toddler tantrums yourself. So try not to worry about what other people think, because I feel like I would probably be like, oh no, people are thinking I'm a bad parent, or like, oh, they're going to think my child is so, I was going to say untrained. As if they're a dog.
We are looking for dog trainers, but no, they're not dogs.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, think that I've got a naughty child that doesn't listen. But yeah, so try not to overthink it, and just, I feel like if Oakley had a tantrum in public, we would probably try and stay calm and like get down to his level and try and like calm him down. And what would you do?
It's easier said than done, isn't it?
It is. You would be the type of mum that you're going to be like, oh no, we have to leave right now.
Probably,
and like just pick him up and want to walk out and abandon the shopping.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Whereas I think I will be more like, let's just distract him.
Actually, so we had Lila's photo shoot and Oakley was not wanting to get in the pictures at all.
No, he was kind of having a bit of a tantrum.
He was kind of having a tantrum and you were like, he's fine, we'll just distract him, we'll give him some food and we'll try again. And I was like, no, like he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So like, don't make him do it.
After him having a tantrum for like 1 minute.
Yeah, literally, even the photographer was like, just keep trying. He's absolutely fine. He was just being a bit aggy. He wasn't like in a state or anything.
No.
But already I was ready to leave and I was like, no, like, let's not make him do this. When actually you did persuade me to just wait and he was absolutely fine. And we got a gorgeous picture of Oakley and Lila together.
We did.
I was pleased that you taught me to stick it out and just...
We just gave him a snack and he was fine.
But my mum was in the room as well. My mum was like, yeah, just leave it. He's
you and your mum were like, no, we've got to just leave. Let's just leave it. And I was like, no, he'll be fine in a second. He's just walked in. Like, he doesn't understand what's going on.
Which you were completely right. And he wasn't even at the point where he was having a tantrum. He was just wanting to be picked up by my mum the whole time.
That was literally his problem.
Yeah. He's got favouritism at the moment with my mum, which we're not too best pleased about. Okay. Final question. I'm not sure if you guys have brought this up yet, but what are your plans for educating Oakley and Lila? Have you thought about homeschooling?
So many people message me asking, or I've seen on the comments, are we going to be homeschooling our kids? And the answer is no. No, we're not going to homeschool them. We'll definitely send them to just a public school, I think, like the local school. Although I would have loved to have been homeschooled, I do feel like it's really important for them to make friends and experience it. And yeah, I just don't feel like homeschooling is something we would do.
No, I feel like obviously you never know the reason why if we did in the future. At the moment, our plan is definitely public school. And I feel like it would take a lot for us to change our mind.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the only reason we would homeschool him or Lila is if maybe they were like really anxious and they really like weren't enjoying school. But then
I feel like I would still try and persevere with the public school because it's not only better for socialising, it's also you learn a lot more by other people. And I feel like it's best to be in a group of people rather than just by yourself. At home with the people you're surrounded by, I don't feel like you're going to grow as much.
A lot of people, though, that do homeschool, they take their kids to clubs and things like that. So they are still making friends and socialising and stuff like that, but obviously not the same.
Is true.
But I do agree. I think that being in a school and like just learning how to be more independent and stuff like that is really important for them. And although I wanted to be homeschooled, I do think my mum saying, no, you're not being homeschooled, you're going to school, was good for me because in the end, I just coped with it. So we don't have any more time for any more questions, but please keep sending them on Instagram because we love hearing from you guys.
I feel like we've spoken about so many different things in this episode.
Definitely. What we would do if you would cheat on me or if I would cheat on you.
I think I might regret saying I wouldn't leave you if you kissed someone. So
I do hope you would leave me if I kiss someone. I feel like you should leave me if I kiss someone.
Yeah, so don't kiss anyone. I would leave you if you did that. I definitely would leave you.
I've spoken about your parents, my parents, childhood memories and how things we want to do with our kids as well.
I definitely want to take the kids to Ireland and I want to make a new tradition. I want to take Oakley and Lila's cousins to Ireland with us.
So we're going to Ireland, are we? You've never said that before.
No, I want to go to Ireland and I want to go with everyone.
Oh, that'd be so cute.
That'd be cute, won't it?
That would be so cute.
All the kids.
Yeah, so my parents had a house in Ireland. We're going to get a house in Ireland?
We'll use your aunt's house for the time being.
Yeah, it might be a little bit expensive.
And we'll go with all the kids. It'll be so much fun. So let's definitely keep up that tradition.
Yeah, that'll be so lovely.
I did enjoy this episode though.
And Lila's definitely been talking as well throughout this episode.
I think she's been really good though, hasn't she?
She has. She's been very good, but she's been making little squeaks.
Oh, but she's fast asleep now.
Yeah.
And you'll be home soon, Lila, with your brother.
Yeah.
She looks like she's drunk.
Drunk?
She's like...
Drunk on milk.
Drunk on milk. Milk drunk. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for the 3am Club.
Make sure to subscribe to our show on YouTube and follow and listen on Spotify or your podcast app of choice.
Feel free to leave a comment and a really good review too.
And remember, you're part of the 3am Club too, so please get in touch with your parenting tips, stories and questions.
You can come and find us on Instagram and TikTok at the 3am Club Podcast.
Bye.